I think it's just... Oh. This is just crazy. Look at the trees that grow out of here. And the colors, the sharpness of the imagery, it's like super sharp. You have imagery that is from last year and it's like, looks like a potato. This one is just fantastic. Hello and welcome back everyone to another episode of Traveling the World using Google Maps Street View imagery. Today, in another desperate attempt to make a shorter video than 30 minutes, I have chosen something quite small. We will be in Japan, southern Japan I would say, near the city of, Nagasaki would be the most famous place. Hiroshima, Kobe, Osaka, that's already further. And we'll be going to an island that lays offshore of Nagasaki, which I have officially lost again by zooming out, but maybe I can find it again. Yeah, here it is. It's called Hashima Island or Gunkanjima or something. Gunkanjima means battleship in, Japanese. This island is called so because it looks a little bit like a battleship. You know, like a modern, where planes can land on, maybe. This island, just to give you, I don't know what I'm sleeping here so much, just to give you a little bit of information. This island was an inhabited island in the until the 1970s, some year in the 1970s, and was inhabited by workers and their families of a nearby coal mine. A coal mine, you may ask? Yeah, a coal mine. I know we are basically surrounded by water, but it was an undersea coal mine. And this apparently had a very lucrative kind of coal with some, not saffron, but sulfur in it or something. I think sulfur is the chemical that always makes the water smell like egg, if I'm not wrong. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And from one day to the other, Japan decided to not, dig for coal in its coal mine anymore. Or maybe it has gotten more environmentally friendly. Anyway, the coal mine closed, and basically from today to tomorrow, all the workers left, leaving a little uninhabited city on the island. That was, by the way, artificially biggered, enlarged by the slack, basically mud of the coal digging. It is also the island that you found when you Google for Japanese ghost island, which I did because I felt that I have heard about such island somewhere, maybe in the news, I read it somewhere. So I thought maybe that's a good video to make. And well, funnily enough, here I am with Google Street View footage. Before we go onto the island, maybe I can show you a few looks from here, because it does look quite, crazy. Maybe this is a good word. It does look crazy. It's mysterious, a bit, sinister, eerie, all these words, but probably not as much as it used to, because the government in Nagasaki has discovered now the touristic potential of this otherwise abandoned island. I guess kind of like with Alcatraz. Maybe it's a different story. And yeah, it's basically a tourist spot, and you can take, Nagasaki Port, Gunkanjima ferry, which is, by the way, I don't think very far away. Yeah, 14 kilometers if you're a good swimmer. But yeah, anyway, I think we start where you would start from the ferry. This probably makes sense. So this is your little transfer shuttle. And here you go, in a row, onto the island. Now, for the most part, what I've seen, the footage seemed quite promising, but of course, experience always shows otherwise. I would say we go clockwise around the island and try to find the most eerie place, which is probably not so easy in the sunshine. But also here, let me remind you that if you were here alone or if you came here before it was open for tourists, because maybe you were a stalker, not a stalker like you're following someone, a stalker like you go out alone into the wilderness. A reference you would only understand if you know the Stalker movie, I guess. But anyway, then it would be quite, yeah, spooky a bit. Also, this island is surrounded by this wall which keeps the water away, or I guess prevents it from shrinking and from the water washing out the soil. And yeah, it's a beautiful example of how nature retakes infrastructure, not to say urban infrastructure. And in that sense, it's quite unique. So whoever did this footage here, it's hard to imagine that this is the official tourist walkway, but okay, so be it. It's from 2013, and it's quite good imagery, so... Do you also have the problem that you think 2013 is like 1995? Did they even have internet back then? And here you have it. They did have internet back then. Look at this. Oh my god. This is so crumbly. Like, maybe it looks more dangerous than it is, but it looks pretty dangerous. Yeah, I mean, this is my, I believe, second video of Japan after the Kurobi Dam, Japan's biggest dam, which was also quite spooky, and now this one is as well. So, what's going on in Japan? I think they just have loads of it was a super industrial country and still is. I think they just have loads of interesting infrastructure that is kind of built in sort of bizarre, remote, natural places. Oh my god. Looks a bit like a bomb hit here and this all just kind of came out, if I can make this reference. Yeah, it's pretty cool because you do get some city vibe here. This island is not very big at all, a couple of 100 meters long, rather small. Oh, look at this. Plants growing everywhere. Also kind of confirms my a bit, steep claim of saying that Japanese architecture is 90% concrete. This one is 100% concrete. At least now, of course. So this is all architecture from the 70s and 60s, perhaps 50s. I guess maybe initially the island was not built up in this way when the coal mine was being started to be digged out, but eventually it happened this way. I'm trying to go here. Because why not? Oh, really? Oh, yes. Oh my god. I love you, Google. It's an ongoing love story with you. Oh, look at the roof of leaves here. It's just leafy ceiling. This is so much cooler than I thought it is. The only problem I see, this is not normal tourist filmed this, is it? The only problem I see is that it is perhaps a little bit difficult to navigate my way through here. Oh, so much going on. Like if you are in the middle of these blocks, maybe on the first floor of some building whose staircase seemed kind of okay to go in, and you're all by yourself, I don't know, I find it a bit spooky. Like if you were sitting there on this balcony now, not because everything is so broken, that's another concern, just because it's probably dead quiet. But it is very cool, and I'm sure that many photographers have already made use of it. One thing that is not so cool is that you cannot see the water at any time. It's this dam going around. Well, I guess maybe you wouldn't necessarily live on this floor. If you lived a bit higher up, like here, you could see the water, but still, you know. Whoa. No, you didn't walk here, did you? Oh my god. Really? It's just insane. What a lost place for all my lost place seekers. This looks like everything and nothing. It's hard to believe that this is just real footage, you know? It looks like a war zone. Pretty crazy. I'm also asking myself how, like, okay, people lived here, but was there like a shop? Was there any sort of entertainment? Was there anything? Is there like a theater as well? If this was a Soviet working town, they would make sure they have a circus and a theater. This is, I think, what was added, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe, as the sort of tourist safety place, which is, I think, kind of a nice way of making it accessible to tourism without necessarily inflicting too much on the place itself. I guess that's how they also do it in the, I don't know, Colosseum or something. Just filling up a little bit of concrete as some walkways. Do I have some Japanese audience? Someone can read that to me, please. There's some kind of newer thing, like a newer lighthouse, and this house is just standing on top of everything. But it has a sort of pipe going down, so maybe it was water for the people. A water tower, a water box. Maybe it was something very different. If I wouldn't know better, which I don't, I would think this is a castle, but why would there be a castle here? This is absurd. Come on. No. Have to go back. They look a little bit more put together. Like, I'm sure somewhere in the outskirts of Tokyo you can find a house that looks very similar to this. Pathetic shade. Wow, this would be so much fun to explore this place. Here we came with the boat. But if we came with the boat, then whoever made this just really ventured off the beaten path. Wow, this is just so cool. Now there's lots going on down here. I think it's just, oh. This is just crazy. Look at the trees that grow out of here. And the colors, the sharpness of the imagery, it's like super sharp. You have imagery that is from last year and it's like Looks like a potato. This one is just fantastic. Oh my god. Oh, what a place that is. I don't think he went down there. No. What a place. That's all I can say. What's this? This doesn't look like. I think what was also initially, at least now, I don't know anymore, initially so attractive to people to come here, even before it was open for tourism, was that the people who lived here left the island so quickly just because kind of the factory or whatever was shut down from basically one day to the other, that like they left all their belongings or like food or all sorts of things behind, you know. And there's a lot of bottles here. So this is the house that I said looks kind of newer. I don't think that we can go in that house. Maybe we can go here? Well, but I don't know, at the moment it also seems pretty... There's no furniture or anything, at least in the apartments we have seen. Ooh, look at this, this looks so cool. No furniture or anything, which... I don't really know why. I mean, okay, there's a table. Fair enough, there's a table. But... Yeah, I mean, there are bits and pieces of things, okay, but it's not like that there's a perfectly fine sort of flat here. Or maybe there is, I mean, how would I know if I don't know? I don't know. So here we are on the roof of a building, and here's this monument again. Which I would have liked to see in a bit of better condition. There's a lot of wood inside, which perhaps is not surprising. So sorry about my concrete comment from earlier. Concrete and wood, that's Japanese architecture. And who doesn't love it? I do love it. Even these, like, I mean, this was housing built for the workers, but like, to make the staircase, you know, it's a simple sort of design ornament. But like, you know, someone put a little bit of thought into it. Yeah, this looks so much like not Bauhaus or like 50s, 60s architecture. I mean, very sort of elegant. It looks also super warm here. Well, these two ladders here and this thing. I mean, there are some people that do something here. Work here or trying to understand if it's still safe for tourists to come. Like there's something happening here. All these ladders were left behind by some other explorers. Can really get lost here. That's so cool. Like it's so tiny, but because it's Japan, everything is kind of dense, which makes it kind of nice. And, you know, all these levels and different walkways, and that's so cool. Yeah, well, what a find, I would say. I mean, maybe you knew already about this island. I didn't. But I think I've seen enough kind of trash for now. Did we go all the way around earlier? Yeah, kind of, I guess. Oi, 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 oi. Well, that's how it looks with tourists, but I think the real value is maybe try to make accessible these houses, but like that's so dangerous. So you never know with these old houses. Like you would have to put a lot of um I guess money into it to, you know, refurbish this somehow. And who's gonna do that? I think that the touristic benefit is of course there, like the money that comes in, but it's not gonna be so much. Yeah, I'm just mainly now wildly wildly browsing around the island to see if I haven't seen anything. But I would say, to keep it nice and short, let's finish with a nice view from the distance. Oof. Yeah, I guess this could do. Oh, yeah, okay, this is not bad. Not bad at all, but yeah, okay. I mean, this is just somehow a little bit. Yeah, well, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty damn cool. It looks a little bit like an isolation island, like this island near Venice, whose name I forgot. The name I also forgot in the Venice video, which is a shame. But anyway, with this view and the romantic Japanese, southern Japanese clouds, I leave you here. I hope you found it as nice as me, and I wish you a lovely rest of the day. Bye bye.